Hi, you guys. Okay, what day is this? It is the last day. Wait, it's not the last day. It's the 30th. I was going to say of April, March, May, June, July. Who cares, right? It's one of those days. It's one of those absolute days. Hello. Hi, you guys. I'm so excited. I've got a lot of energy today. I've had way too much coffee. I've been out doing things. I know what happened. What happened? You know me. I can't do electronics. I keep trying. I keep trying. Okay, so what has been going on today, Stella? Okay, I'm going to reiterate for people that don't know what it is. I now have a new name. It's called Stella, even though it's not my name, but it's because I was talking to Marlon Brando in my head, describing him to you guys, and then I thought of A Streetcar Named Desire. So Marlon Brando is a complete, bad husband. And he basically, in the Tennessee Williams play, I'm going to keep saying this so you guys are like, shut up. So in the Tennessee Williams play, he ends up, raping his sister-in-law. But she's so delusional, she thinks it's love. And then his wife finds out, and her name is Stella. And she throws his hot, wife-beating, wearing shirt out the window, meaning him, all of him out the window. And he's on the street, and he's like, Stella. He wants her to take him back. And she does. What's that about? What is that about? So now this is my name, but I also feel like I'm stuck between Elaine on Seinfeld when she's on the muscle relaxants. You guys remember that? And they take her to the dinner and she's like, Stella. It's the best if you haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Huge Seinfeld fan. Okay. So let's look because I'm obnoxious today. But what's been going on? Okay, so this email came to me, and let me see. Without giving away my text group, I'm on this amazing text group with these ladies that do all of this amazing stuff. They send me every piece of information known to mankind. And then there's my friend Lori out there. She sends me information so that I've got all this information just so I know what's going on because I refuse to watch the news. But this was, oh my God, this was a thing where I don't even know where it is, but it's a thing where it said don't go out on the 31st or the 1st of April, which made me think it was a freaking April Fool's Day joke, right? Because we can't really do our jokes, so we need to go out, right? But this is saying don't go out. It's saying it's the worst day of the virus. It's really contagious then. And apparently the theory behind this, oh, that's who asked me, Dave. If you're out there, hi, Dave. Dave asked me this morning, he said, why are they saying this? And I'm like, I don't know. So I asked my friends, hi, you guys. So I asked my friends why why this is going on. And apparently, I guess if you've been quarantined and you go out tomorrow, then I don't know, whatever, the virus could get you. And I'm like, why? Are they crop dusting out there with this virus? Like, are they out with the crop circles doing it? And yeah, well, anyway, so they say tomorrow and the next day, but I equate it with the sun. Okay. St. Petersburg, Florida. I love Florida. Oh my God, shout out to Maya in Florida. Maya is, if any of you watch my Instagram, not that anybody cares, but Maya is my hiking buddy, and I basically picked her up. She's like 24, 25 now, and I saw her hiking Mount Baldy, and she was like an animal going up the hill, and I can't find people to hike with me. So I found Maya, and basically she didn't know me, and I accosted her for about 2 years going up to Palm Springs with me in the middle of the night. She didn't know me, and she went for it. That's a Sag Rising. So she was my little Sag Rising friend, and she's at the Navy base in Florida, which is why I went into this whole spiel. But what I figured everybody's concerned about tomorrow is because we have Mars-Saturn conjunction tomorrow. That's what everybody's got their panties in an uproar about, is this Mars-Saturn conjunction. So what does that mean really? So here's what we can expect tomorrow and the next day. First of all, I have to see what degree. I have to look at my little calendar ephemeris because I forget the degrees it goes backwards in. So this is the end of March. We have Saturn at just 37 seconds of Aquarius, basically, give or take. And we have Mars at 7 seconds of Aquarius, give or take. So that is a combust. Conjunction is marriage between two planets, and combust is two planets on top of each other, codependent as hell. So we have this Mars Saturn, and Mars is on Saturn. It's not Saturn on Mars, it's Mars on Saturn. So, oh no, it's Saturn on Mars. Shit. Whatever. It's one of the two on top of the other. But either way, they're codependent. So Saturn is more cautious, more planning, more, hi, you guys. Saturn is a planet that, you know, takes responsibility, thinks twice, dots its I's, crosses its T's. Basically, it's not spontaneous. So that's why I don't like it. And it's karmic. So, you know, I don't want to do my homework. So anyway, Saturn is that way. Mars is like, oh my God, get the fuck out of my way. I don't care if we have any money. We're getting on the airplane. Who cares if we have passports? No one cares. That's Mars. So think about this for a second. Think about Saturn, restrictive, parental, concerned, all of that nonsense. And then think about Mars, like, you know, with the party whistle and the party bus outside, and we're not taking any prisoners and off we go. This is the problem, okay? So this is what's hitting tomorrow. So I think it actually has something to do with that. I think what's going on is there is some sort of a, okay, Saturn is karmic. It's karma coming down on Mars. There's some kind of a war going on in the next 2 days. I don't actually think we're going to get the virus the way, you know, crop dusting. The only way that it would be worse is if we were outside in a field and they were putting, you know, dimethyl blah, blah, blah on the field, otherwise known as weed killer, from above the sky landing on us. That's not what's happening. This is Saturn and Mars. So to me, there's something karmic happening within the next 2 days, and it is Stella. You guys aren't going to tune in anymore, right? Because you're going to be shut the fuck up. Shut up with that. Okay, I will. Okay, so you know what just happened when I said that? I got an image of Brando in my head over there, sitting back on my chair with his arm like this, giving me the look from The Godfather. Like I need that look on my table. But I think the Saturn that we're talking about tomorrow going retrograde, in Aquarius, where it's just jumped in, conjuncting the Mars, I actually think that is karmic repercussions being handed on down. So there's some sort of a war. I'm going to use the word war. Call it whatever you want, starting tomorrow. And it's an undercurrent of a war. It's karmic. It has to happen. So again, I'm going to use the expression I used the other night because I see it again, off with their heads. I didn't say that. The guillotines, whatever they're called, came into my head. And that's what I'm thinking, off with their head. So I feel like that's the battle cry in the morning. And I almost want to put the paint on my face like Braveheart and say, this is where we're going. We're drawing our swords and out the door we're going. Something is happening like this and it's starting tomorrow. So that's what I think it is. I don't actually think, oh, itchy nose. I was using the nose shaver to get my nostrils. So since I can't get to the beauty shop, I actually have more hair on my nose than I've ever had in my life. I'm just expecting it to grow here now and then on my toes again. Like whatever that's about. Too much information is what that's about. But I do think that that's what's coming up tomorrow. So I think that that's why people are saying you need to stay in, you need to do this. Because the virus is spiking. I don't actually think it's a virus tomorrow. I think it's the beginning of karma being handed on down. Don't know what that means, but we'll have to see. So I want to know what everybody says tomorrow when it, wait, something Canada. From Canada, exactly. I love Canada. So what have we been doing today? Did any of us go out? Did we walk? Oh, and it's, I hope we did. Did we walk? Is it safe to go hiking? I believe I'm going to go hiking. So I know it's safe for me. I'm not going to stop living my life. I'm just going to say this ever. I'm not going to be disrespectful to the people that run away from me in the market because I'm not wearing a mask. Okay. If I could find a mask, I still wouldn't wear it. Not right now. If I was sick, I just wouldn't go out, but I'm not sick. And apparently we're all allowed to go to the grocery store. And if you've been in the grocery store, you know what kind of a germ fest that is. Just look at the little kids and people touching the chip bags. This should keep us all away from potato chips at this point. Okay, so those people that run away from me, I'm fine. I was at the post office today because I've got to mail out stuff, which I did. So hopefully everybody's gotten their stuff except for this next thing. But I was at the post office, and the people that, it was funny, there were some older gentlemen going in there that I was walking by. They didn't have the masks on. Like all the young ones were like, you don't have a mask. But all the older people were like walking in like, who cares? And these are like people over 60, 70, maybe even late 70s, several of them going in the store. I got in the door. This is what I do now. I'm building my thighs up by opening doors. What I do is I put my foot in the door and I swing it open like that so I don't have to touch it. But I did that anyway before this happened because I don't think people wash their hands in general. But I was in the post office, and it was interesting because it was back to normal business. So I don't know. I'm just going to say, for me, I'm not going to stop living my life. I'm not going to worry about things that haven't happened. Canada in Windsor. Okay, my dad was from Windsor, Ontario. Windsor, went across from Michigan. I know it well. I'm not going to stop living my life. So hiking seems like it would be very, let's see, I got pregnant. Okay, I don't know what that means. Not by me, you didn't, but I hope you did the way you wanted to. Okay, so anyway, hiking to me seems very safe, especially if you are hiking outside, and people hike at different rates and people climb at different rates. So if you are doing that, this seems like a very good thing to do and a safe thing to do. I watched the people walking down by the grocery store. Look at how itchy this is. See, I started shaving the nose hairs. I get bored. I get on the phone. I'm like, okay, what can I do to fix something that is growing off my face that I can't fix at the salon right now because I'm not allowed in the salon? So I think for people, it's very good actually to stick to their normal behaviors. Now, if you're hiking and you're not with like 400 people, I will read what I just actually sent this to somebody. I will read this because my favorite trail in the whole world, and it's my most favorite trail. Okay, so it's absolutely the best trail. I have to find that. I'm always doing this. I think I save things. Anyway, it's a public notice. Okay, so let's be stupid here and not. Jesus. Anyway, it's a public notice of the trail, and it's Cactus to Clouds. So that is the Palm Springs Trail. Okay, so you can see it here. There you go. That was on, I don't know if you guys can read it. So it says public notice. Now this is a trail, number one, not very many people can get up it if you look it up. But anyway, it says this trail remains open. Open. It says limited use during the shelter in place order. Use of the hiking trail is limited to use by individual hikers or those hiking with somebody in their household. No hiking groups. You have to practice social distancing. I don't know if you're fucking somebody at night and you're hiking up the trail with them. I don't know how that works. Social distancing. I don't know how that works. But anyway, this says all hikers required to do social distancing and required to step aside safely to allow another hiker pass, maintaining 6 feet separation. That seems good. And then it says, please understand we're implementing these measures in accordance, but it says hiking trail remains open because they have some fucking common sense, right? Hello. So that is good. Okay, no way I'm hiking ever. Okay, well, that's different. You just don't want to hike. No way I'm hiking ever. I'm always going to hike. But that's right. No one's up there. So if you want to walk around your block, walk around your block, but do so with no fear, because if you focus, here's how I think it works energetically. If you focus on the negative energy, so like if there's a storm outside and you're like, oh my God, my house is going to blow down with the storm. I'm all upset, blah, blah, blah. You are attracting that to you. You don't want to do that. So you want to think your house is going to be fine, because the universe doesn't know the difference between, and somebody loves hiking. I love you. Oh, wait, biking, hiking. I love you for hiking. Yeah, whatever the government said, these people are choosing different. He said that, but I don't know. It's misinformation and it's disinformation, because they're going to say what they're going to say, but if they let you go into the grocery store, I'm just going to say to you guys, go into your grocery stores. If we're allowed to go into the grocery store, drive through Starbucks. Today at McDonald's, don't ever tell anybody I went through McDonald's. It wasn't for me, I swear. It was for somebody else. Except the fries were for me. I love fries. Okay, so anyway, went through the drive-through. I said, this is true. I said, you know, do you have the ice cream cones? Because I'm all about the ice cream cones. I don't eat meat, that kind of thing, but I like ice cream and fries. It's a diet of champions. Anyway, the guy says to me, no, we don't have any ice cream. And I'm like, wait, there goes Andrew. There goes Andrew. The guy says to me, Andrew and I had a nice discussion on astrology charts earlier. Andrew's a really good astrologer, good psychic. We had a meeting of the minds while I was shaving my nose hairs just before I got on here, but I didn't tell him that. That's right. However, I did eat dinner at the same time and decided to shave my nose hairs. This is how ADD I am. Okay, so getting back to ice cream in McDonald's. So I'm in the drive-thru and they go, we have no ice cream. I'm like, what? Like, don't you sell shakes? Isn't that why people come here? They want those yummy shakes? And he's like, no, we're not fixing the machine. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy why. So I'm talking to the kid and he's like, well, because we're not fixing the machine because of the virus. And I'm like, oh, come on, you're making hamburgers and there's a virus. Why can't I have my ice cream? And he's like, no, they decided not to fix it because of the virus. I'm like, why? Does the machine have a virus as opposed to the French fry machine? I couldn't get a straight answer, but what I found hilarious, the cute little kid taking the money was darling. The kid handing us the hamburger with the yummy fries, large, and a Coke. Yeah, that's what I said. And some kind of hamburger over here. My passenger was eating a hamburger, a cheeseburger, a something burger. Anyway, whatever. The guy literally, I didn't get my phone out quick enough, but he literally was hanging out the window to the car in front of us. Literally from the waist out to the window to reach them like that, was nowhere near 6 feet apart and may have fallen out and cracked his head open if he hadn't been able to pull himself back in. I'm sure there was another employee holding his feet to the ground on the other side. And I was like, this is ridiculous. This is so stupid, but it was interesting and I wanted to film it. That's what I wanted to do. I was like, what is this that's going on? And I'm itching my back now because, again, when I start talking, I get itchy. But anyway, that happened at McDonald's. So apparently the McDonald's in my neighborhood is not fixing the ice cream machine. You who live around here know who you are. Don't go through there to get ice cream because you will not get it. You're not getting your freaking ice cream. It's like, no, because there's a virus, you can't have ice cream. That's what they're saying. So now they've quarantined the ice cream. I feel sad about that. But I think you should stick to your normal life because whatever it is you do, like I went down the street, I saw my favorite animals today. I talked to my favorite people. I went around my neighborhood. I made, was on the phone. Some of my girlfriends were going into their work. So it's okay for people to go into work. And now here's what I noticed around town in LA. So me being nosy, wanted to go by the hospital and see what the hell was going on. Absolutely the fuck nothing. Me driving down the street, Tom Hanks. Oh God, I missed that. We're going to look at his Instagram in a minute because it's all about, hello folks. Okay, what the fuck is that? Stop talking to us like you're Elmer Fudd. What is that? Stop doing it. Don't do that. We're not folks. Who uses the word folks? That doesn't connect us. It makes us think you're fake because no one says folks. Fake folks. Okay, anyway, I digress. So we went down the street and there was those taco trucks, which is great for tomorrow. It'll be Tuesday. Taco trucks. So I'm like, okay. And there was this girl that sells fruit and she sells fruit outside the Costco, but in one of those fruit stands. So I've always wondered before this happened, where she washes her hands when she's picking the fruit out and where does she go to the bathroom? Because it's a cart and she's outside and it's god awful hot out there and she has beautiful fruit and she's making a living and that's super awesome. But where does she go to the bathroom? So we decided she probably ran to the local Lowe's by there, right? Okay, fine. So she could wash her hands in there and that. However, when these taco trucks and stands are outside and there's no bathroom anywhere in sight, we've got a virus and they're still on the street selling. I'm just saying I'm not against tacos or fruit. I like them both. But they're selling, and here is a loophole. I shouldn't even say this because the tattletale's on here. You're going out and you're not supposed to. Yeah, that's right. That is right. I'm not going out and doing anything. I'm going out. So anyway, a loophole is if you have a restaurant and you serve alcohol and you order food at said restaurant, like let's say you go, I don't know, wherever, the brewery, wherever, and you go to get your dinner, if they sell booze and you're waiting for your takeout order, you can sit down and have a drink. Yeah. Okay, so is that social distancing? I don't think so. And who determines which businesses don't go? The reason I'm putting this into my videos, not that any of you care, but the reason I'm saying it is because so many people have littler businesses and the corporations are taking over, people really need to defend the little businesses opening. The hairdressers, the nail salons, the tiny restaurants, the little coffee shops, the little clothing stores. These people, do you know the, oh my God, Cheesecake Factory is wiped out now. They can't pay their rents on all their stores. They're wiped out. We're not going to have the Cheesecake Factory. I like their salmon and broccoli. We're not going to have that. What about at the Americana where they have the Cheesecake Factory, right? So it's no longer there. It's not there anymore. I mean, they're saying it's not there. I don't know if it really will not be there or it could be there. But we have to actually like help people go into business. Again, all of us have an obligation to people we know that aren't working. Because I know, rest in peace, Cheesecake Factory. What the hell? So busy every weekend, a line out the door when you go to the Americana. Total line out the door. People love it. It's a great business. It's a family restaurant. Everybody can afford it. It's packed like crazy. And these poor people can't pay their rent because they're not allowed to be open. Whatever. Okay, so I know it's every business. This is a financial takeover, restructuring of wealth. So the corporations, basically fucking Amazon, will own everything. And who is that guy? I mean, have you looked at that guy? Who is that fucking guy anyway, right? Whatever. But I mean, I know he has money, therefore he's special, and you don't count, but he counts. So his Amazon business is open right now. So but basically, somehow we've got this guy delivering parcels. Do you know if your parcels are clean? Do you know if the kid delivering or young adult or old adult delivering your parcels is clean? How many houses did they go to? Did they touch a handrail by accident on their way down? Did they itch themselves in their cart because they're on 10-hour shifts? Where do they go to the bathroom? How do they wash their hands? And do they drop it off at your door? What about if the box comes from China, your stuff? All y'all are ordering your medicine online from China or India. So it's going through customs. All kinds of people are touching it. All right. Ew. And then, okay. And Rita Wilson. All right. We're doing that again. I will look. I'm going to look at their thing. Anyway, those boxes show up at your door. Do you all Lysol them down? Do you spray them? Do you leave them out in the sun to dry? What is it you do? So when we're talking about this, it's like a deranged over response to a virus, which should be taken with seriousness, but I don't see them doing this for any other virus. Why don't you stop child abuse out of there, or 800,000 children missing in trafficking? But I'm worried about a virus that's attacking people with certain immune system and age restrictive things. Why don't we put those people need to stay out, but the rest of us don't? And I don't even buy the carrier thing. If you say I'm a carrier, okay, fine, whatever. But you don't have a test for it, so now you're locking me down. So in 30 days, each of us should be able to get out because there is no, we won't have any carrier, right? We won't be carriers. That's why I want everybody to stand up for these little businesses. I want you to help people fill out grants. Do stuff like this of the people you know so they can get their businesses back. The other thing is, for those people like that work at the Cheesecake Factory, can't get a waitressing job because all the other waitresses have the jobs in the restaurants that are open, or whatever the case may be, the chefs, the cooks, all of those people, the busboys, all the way down. These people depend on their tips. They depend on it. And just because of a virus, which I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but what about the fucking swine flu in 2010, 12, wherever it was? What about that? I didn't see quarantine. What about AIDS? Do you know people are still contracting AIDS? Seriously, okay? Seriously. What about TB? What about whatever the hell else it is? So what we need to do, I think, as people is all of us should sit down, each of us, even me, you, whoever, even us that are still working or whatever we're doing, and write 3 things that we could possibly see ourselves doing to be proactive on our end in case our jobs aren't there. So what could we create as a way to earn a living? We have to think outside of the box. That's what the Saturn in Aquarius is about. How do we think outside of the box? What do we do to pull in energy to create something different. So what can we do? So everybody should write down like 3 things. Like, for example, if you're a good organizer, this is specific to my friend out there. I'm not saying her name, but she's a really good organizer. She takes care of everybody that she works for. That's her job. She's like the house mom. Everything is done and good. So if her job is gone because she works for another company, if her job is gone, what will she do? Well, if she's good at organizing, maybe people who are starting new businesses need help with that. You have to reinvent yourself. So pick out 3 of your best qualities. What are your best qualities? Somebody's birthday, happy birthday out there. What are your best qualities? What do you do well? Do you talk well? Do you cook well? Are you a good organizer? Do you like to babysit kids? Are you a good dog walker? Do you write letters well? Do you take school exams well for teenagers trying to pass the SATs? I don't know, could make a business out of it. Are you a good groomer? Are you a good trainer? God, I'm so itchy back here. What the heck happened? Sorry, something biting me back there. Who knows, right? Some little alien bug crawling up my back. So what is it you do well? Are you a good astrologer? Do you read tarot cards well? Do you sew well? Do you make clothing well? Because everything is going to be changing a bit. So we're going into a different strand of thought, and it's very Aquarius. So it means reinvent yourself. Aquarius thinks outside of the box and thinks in a completely different direction, something that other people don't think in. They think differently. That's what we have to do. All of us, we have to do this. Oh, sorry, looking over there. I keep saying sorry. I'm like, I heard something buzz. You didn't hear it. I have a little heater. I'm like, oh, is it tipping over by itself over there? But we need to think about it. So do you do nails well? Like, do you do nails well? Do you cut hair well? Do you want to cut hair well? Figure out a way to take the money that you have right now and invest it into yourself to reinvent yourself. Don't take it all and do that. Don't do something. Are you good at sales? Do you like to read? Can you, I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe you can do something like that, but it's all about Aquarius. It's about raising the vibration to do something different. How do we do something different? All of us. So that's what we need to do. Just 1 or 2 or 3 things. Just write them down and start ruminating on it. Like, if I wasn't doing this job, what would I be doing? For me, if I wasn't doing my psychic work and doing this, I would probably be a hairdresser. So my thing would be to go to cosmetology school, because I'm secretly a closet hairdresser, and I think it's the best job in the whole world. So I've even thought I would go back and be a barber at this point in my life, because I so want to do it. I love hair, and I love the idea of being able to cut it in a straight line, unlike how I cut my hair when I do it myself, which is why my hairdresser has to fix it, because I'm always like chopping into it, and I'm like, because I can literally see when I'm looking at myself that I'm not quite sure of the angles to cut it, but you know, I like to. That's what I would do. I would be a hairdresser. And if I wasn't going to be a hairdresser, I probably would do something where I would do voiceovers or reading books on tape or something like that. Or I'd be the phone voice for people's voicemails. They're, hi, and you have another message. She doesn't want to talk to you, whatever. I'd be doing that, but it would be something along those lines. But my first goal would be to be actually a beautician, a hairdresser, not even the makeup part, the hair part, the color and the cut. So that's where I would take my money right now and invest. So everybody needs to think about things a little bit differently, because what's going on now is economic warfare. That's what happens. You can't just shut people. Don't you love these people in power? Okay, and who gave them power? We the people. So technically they work for us, and they're like, no, you can't make a living. Certain people can, but I don't understand the taco trucks out there. Not that I'm not going to go get a taco, because I am going to get a taco, and I am going to do that. That is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to support the local business. I will just wash my hands when I get home with my yummy taco, and I'll take it out of the wrapping. I'll spray Lysol around the room, not hitting the taco, and then put it on my clean plate, and I'm going to eat the freaking taco, and that's what I'm going to do. Apparently, some of the restaurants in Burbank are delivering liquor to your house. Now, that sounds like fun. If we could, I don't know which Mexican restaurant it is drinking, of course they are. They're delivering margaritas, and I'm like, that sounds like fun. We could get the taco from them, and it wouldn't be on the street truck. But we could get the margaritas at the same time, which used to be illegal. You could not take your drink out of a restaurant. What is going on? The world is upside down. So this is basically financial warfare to change the social structure. So we can't let them win. All those people, I mean, the people at Ralph's are doing really great, our Ralph's and Vaughn's. They're working overtime. They're stacking boxes all night. They probably have to go in from midnight to 6, these poor people. Stack these boxes. They're a round of disgusting shoppers who are just like zombies looking for toilet paper. Do you have toilet paper? Please explain to me where the toilet paper's gone. I'm just asking. So everybody needs to energetically raise our vibration. We need to be proactive, not worry about it. It's not actually us being taken advantage of. It's you can throw at us, meaning us, the people, the general people, you can throw at us what you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the task up. We're going to raise to the occasion. We're going to fight and we're going to reinvent ourselves. That's what all people do. We do it in every stage of our life. A young woman will have a lot to be marketable for when she's 20 and 30. She'll have children. She'll have a marriage. When she gets into her 50s, she's not as marketable. When she's in her 60s, she's not as marketable then. You have to reinvent yourself. Clients of mine, men who've worked at the studios for 20, 30 years, General Motors, lost their jobs like that. Those people have to reinvent yourself. You can't give up. So you have to either re-educate yourself in a direction you want to go in, or think about another way that you can make a living and think about it and just feel what it is you should do. This is what we need to do. I think this is what we need to do, all of us. I think that, and only think positive thoughts. I also think we don't need to be afraid, because whatever is happening is starting to happen tomorrow with that Mars Saturn. And so it's going to speed things up a bit. Now, Easter's going to be interesting because, well, I don't eat ham. That's what they eat in my house is ham. So I won't miss that much, but I don't like ham. I will miss corn. I will miss salad. But what are we going to do? Not travel for Easter? So we can't go to church, whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to reinvent the concept of Easter, but we're not going to get comfortable doing it this way in our, oh yeah, with your zeros. Isn't that some kind of a threat or something? Whatever. The 000, wasn't that like some kind of a hit thread, threat or whatever? I think someone told me that. Okay, so now I'm looking over here. Now what we're going to do for our own amusement is we're going to go through these celebrities and see what they're up to, because they've been so freaking naughty. This is part of the trouble. There's 3 distinctly different things that are going on. So let's look at Tom Hanks. He says, I'm an actor in some of the movies you liked and some you didn't. Sometimes I'm in pretty good shape. Hey, you got to live, you know. No, I don't know, because we're in quarantine, thanks to some of you people. So anyway, he's back in town. And yet, checking again, 6 days ago is the last post. That's the last post. So he is not speaking on here. But TMZ says he's back in town. Okay, so then I got to go to Rita Wilson. I haven't checked on her today. And it's the same post. I can't help it. I like Larry David. I love Seinfeld. I'm sorry. I'm a hypocrite. I think Seinfeld is brilliant. Yeah. So this is on Rita's page. I guess she was excited to be doing a play called Fish in the Dark. So is that like fried fish? Is this a play on words? Is it a pedophile reference? What are these people doing with all of this crap that they keep saying? Anyway, she hasn't posted anything new except for that. But we're all supposed to go, oh, sure you're in town. Where is she in town? Why am I not seeing her in town? Now, let's go to Ellen's page. Ellen has these freaking annoying posts. Let's see. Okay, one is her game show host, and I think it's Will Smith. Like, okay, fine. But this one, this is her new post. Always makes me laugh. Brown skin babies make her laugh. What have I told you about brown skin babies? No soup for you. No soup for you. The soup Nazi. The soup Nazi. That's like the best episode. Anyway, it's like a play on words, what we're dealing with. So Ellen is doing this whole thing on babies here. This is what she's posting, the baby thing. For anyone who could use a laugh right now. Well, we're all fine, Ellen. Apparently you're not, but we're fine. Okay, so that's Ellen's post. But I'm curious. I really am curious. Do they get out to go shopping? Why aren't they posting that? Because we go out shopping, right? You, me, everybody. We go out. I love the soup Nazi. Oh my God. Elaine is just so caustic. And poor George gets punished. Like George is a puss, you know, and Elaine is just caustic as hell. How about, I just totally switched directions. Okay, how about the episode of Seinfeld where Elaine's boyfriend, I don't know, the guy that does the commercials, you know who I mean? He's a Devils fan, so he dresses himself up like the devil for his Devils hockey team fan, whatever. I forget which, don't ask me, I don't care about that stuff. But anyway, he does it. So they're going to the hockey game and she comes out and he's like a red-faced devil. And remember they run into the priests on the street? And the poor Spanish priest that's come over from Mexico, doesn't speak any English, El Diablo, and practically has a stroke. And then, well, it's so funny. I don't even know. Hold on one sec here. I just got a text from one of you viewers. Okay. What the heck is going on here? Watching you nowhere now. Am I nowhere now, Mr. Texter? I get these texts and I'm like, whatever. Anyway, the Seinfeld episode where the devil, it's her boyfriend, and he runs up to the car and he like throws his face and it's all red. It looks like he's horns, and the priest is horrified thinking he saw El Diablo. I'm sorry. Seinfeld is so well written. It's just, I'm going to try not to laugh at it, but this is going to be hard. And what about when the girl that's the virgin and Elaine's looking for the sponges? You're not sponge worthy. Who says this? Oh God. And then the prissy girl has all the sponges stuck in her closet. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I won't watch Seinfeld anymore. I've watched it for years, and it's like the only show I watch. That's a terrible, guilty pleasure. Okay, so now we're going to look at Madge's, you know, Madonna, Madge's. Where's her British accent now? Okay. All right, we'll see what she said here. This is her message to us. Stay at home, the union of the world. Stay at home. Whatever she's saying. Oh, she's speaking in some other language. Ah, somebody's calling me from Dallas, Texas. Whoever you are, don't. Anyway, Madge apparently is doing whatever she's doing. It's interesting. I believe, this is actually what I believe, and I'm going to tell you guys psychically what I get. I believe that all of us, you, me, your neighbor, your teenager, I believe if your teenager wants to be a guitar player, a musician, a whatever, I believe this is a time for them to start doing it, because the way that we look at our entertainment in the coming months is going to be so different. So it's going to give people who haven't had a chance. I know what happened to Madonna's face. Yeah, well, too much salt, PMS, menopause, I don't know. It looks like too much of that filler where they all look like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's with that. I don't know why women do that. They all kind of get that look, but it looks like something else. I'll tell you what I noticed. I noticed with certain people in the industry that partake in certain habits of food, certain food predilections tend to get almost like a flubber over their body, and it's a certain appearance on the body, and that's what it looks like she has, but I can't prove it and I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. I just heard something, but it was a car out there. Anyway, that's what I think. Or she's put too much of whatever the hell that is, filler in her face or some kind of something. No, I'm not a vegan. I just don't like McDonald's meat. That's me. Okay, so, all right. So I think for all the creatives out there, all vampires, yeah, I think it's more of a flesh androchrome, something, bloating, liver, kidneys failing because the organs aren't working the same. I think it's more like that. Like, I almost feel when you do certain drugs, whatever, insert name of drug, and not these drugs are a bit more, quote, exotic. By exotic, I don't mean, yes, withdrawals. By exotic, I don't mean like, oh, it's a gold level tequila kind of thing. I mean, they call it exotic, but it's perverse, and it's what people with money can have because they can buy anything they want. They can do anything they want, but what they do is just gratuitous in what they do with their money. So it's a gratuitous type of a thing. This is what I feel they're ingesting. So it is a type of flesh. Do you remember, maybe you don't remember, my kids were little, 7 maybe. Jason was maybe 7. Oh God, that's that ring thing. I don't know how and why it's on my phone. And yes, I know they're spying, but I had to have it around the door so I know who's spying on me, okay? So I can spy on them. How about that? It's not in my house. And I don't care. They can see the neighbors walk by. And they have it on their door anyway. So there's like 2 cameras like that. But I don't know how it got back. But do you remember when George Bush was running? There were signs all over, at least my neighborhood. I was in Santa Clarita at the time. There were signs. Hi, you guys. I keep saying hi as the groups of people come in. There were signs all over the neighborhood that had a picture of George Bush, and I didn't understand it at the time. I thought it was a reference to pork. I didn't understand it. It said the other white meat, and I was like, are they referring to pork, calling him pig? I don't, I couldn't go there. Think about that for a second. I really did see those posters. They were all over Santa Clarita on the way to the freeway, down Sierra Highway. If anybody knows where that is, that's where they were. Thinking about it now, I think that's maybe what I'm talking about. Cannibalism. Yeah, something like that, like the Santa Clarita diet. Look where I was. I was in freaking Santa Clarita, right? That's weird. That's apropos. That's kind of like freaky. But what I was saying is a lot of us are creatives, okay? So the little kids at home, the 14 and 15-year-olds, 4 and 5-year-olds, they paint. This is a time to explore your creative energy because there's going to be a new way to do business and we're all going to be able to do it. I feel like we're going to harmonize and bring everything back. This feels good for me. This feels like it's a good thing. This feels like it's an important thing. This feels like it's what we're going to do. I have no idea if JFK Jr. is alive. I really don't know. I have no idea. I can't comprehend it in my head that Saugus, stop. Okay, this is annoying. I apologize, you guys. That stupid little thing is going to keep going. I don't understand why my phone's being hijacked. Saugus. Yeah, the Saugus Raceway all the way up there, Sierra Highway. Exactly. Whoever said Saugus knows. I'm doing the little landmarks, but I feel, and I'm not sure how I feel about Q. I don't know everything about Q. I know some things, and I wasn't a follower. I was following some people that believe in Q. However, some of the things that Q brought out are common knowledge kind of in a backwards way from a long, long time ago. There are people that know this. I mean, again, no secret certain things in Hollywood. And I'll just reiterate, things that Eddie Murphy did going back 24, 25 years, common knowledge. Harvey Weinstein, common knowledge. Okay, so it's not necessarily that Q brought that out, but I think the context of it all after WikiLeaks is what we're talking about with that, and that is extraordinary. If you read the WikiLeaks paperwork, it's fascinating how much they talk about fucking pizza. It's like, what are you people doing in the White House? Like, you should all be 400 pounds with all this pizza that you're supposedly eating. Very weird. Anyway, getting back to the creative energy, the Saturn in Aquarius is going to allow us to take our individuality and morph it into a career and basically bring people in. There's going to be a new way of making money. So I don't want anybody who doesn't have work right now to feel bad about it. I want people to think of themselves differently. I want you to ask for help from people that you maybe wouldn't do. What do you think I'd be good at? Ask your friends, ask your husband, ask your wife. What do you think I'd be good at? Sometimes our partners know things that we'd be really good at, and they can help us with that, and they can design something in our mind, click our mind into something new. We have to do things differently. So each day we should be reinventing how we do things for ourselves in so many different levels. This is what I feel. I feel also, you know what? I just saw Jimi Hendrix go by there. Okay, I mean, go by on the, oh, there he goes. No, I meant on the screen board here. When I first channeled Jimi Hendrix, I did not know who he was. I was a kid, like 11, 12. And I saw him and I didn't know who it was. I just thought he was a black guy with interesting music skills who looked funky, really. I did not know who he was. I didn't listen to his music. I was too young. As I said, get ready for it. I was a Bay City Rollers Queen fan at that age. Yes, you heard it, Bay City Rollers. Scottish band, look it up. I wore the green socks that say Bay City Rollers. Saturday nights, you remember? Okay, anyway, that was who I was. I was just a kid. Don't be picking on me. Okay, so I listened to that music. So when I saw Jimi Hendrix, I did not know who he was. And how he came to me, because people ask me, what is it like to channel that energy? How he came to me, so it's, when you look up in the sky, it's like he was a hologram. Really, I would describe him as a hologram. That's how I would describe it. When I would look at him in the sky, I would see him, but he was much bigger than me, like I was looking at him on a movie screen. I don't know if he appeared that way to me for a reason. He played guitar. He taught me music. I don't play music. I had no idea what I was talking about. And he was with me all the time. And when I was like 16, somebody showed me a picture and it clicked in my head. Like I knew who he was by then, but it didn't click in my head, which is weird. Somebody showed me a picture and I was like, holy crap, I've been talking to that guy for years, didn't even know. Yeah, I think Jimi Hendrix went around to a lot of people. He's like Jim Morrison. It sounds really weird. It's like, yeah, these dead people are stalking us. Yeah, but it's not that. I think they leave this life kind of against their own will and they end up trying to get the attention and finishing out their karma between here and there before they move on. So that was interesting. And Jimi Hendrix was always, the way that I experienced him was when I was about to go down a road in a negative way. I did Whitney Houston videos, by the way. When I was about to go down the road in a negative way, I would see Jimmy's image and it would distract me because I can't stay focused, as we know. So it would distract me and therefore stop me from making these huge mistakes that I consider might have been huge mistakes for me. So I always thank Jimi Hendrix for that, which sounds bizarre in and of itself because who thanks them? And I didn't even know him, but I did know him. And it's a different relationship in spirit. It's very much a different relationship. They're coming to you as soul beings, letting you know a little bit about who they are, but not like from who they were. It's also on a soul level. It's quite a unique thing. So that's my experience with Jimi Hendrix. And I will say, even though he did a lot of drugs, he was not a fan of having young people do drugs. That wasn't something he wanted. So anytime I was going down that tangent for very heavy drugs and let's just go down there, which would have really destroyed me further, he would pop into my space and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go over this way and follow this thought. So the dead really have helped me in my life to kind of stay on the straight and narrow, and they can help you too. You can have communication with your family members even when they're dead, and sometimes better. So you have to allow yourself to open up, especially this is when everybody can be a medium. Not that everybody is a medium. And I'm going to move this stupid seat again. Apologize again for being all over the place. But if you have a loved one that's left you or died or, whatever has happened, you can actually communicate with your family members because they are your family members, right? You can do this. You can ask them to come to you. Pauly Shore, his mother ran the comedy club. That's all I know. I've never really focused on that. I have energy myself, really. I'm trying to think who we could talk about. So, who we could talk about energetically that we could pull in energy-wise. But it's funny, they don't come along. They come along when they want to come along. Somebody from Nashville, Tennessee, I saw that. But you can actually open your energy to harness your family members by just being open and letting them know you want to talk to them. Because even if you're not psychic, even if you're not a medium, your family members will come to you. They will come to you because you're their family member. So there's an easy way in. Everybody loves Andy Gibb. I did a video on Amy Winehouse. Clones. Now that's interesting on the cloning part. I don't know if there's clones, but what's his name? Oh my God, the comedian. Oh no, I just forgot his name. What the hell is his name? You know, the black guy, and he was really funny, and they offered him $50 million, and he went to Africa, then he came back, and now he's really buff, but he wasn't that way before. What the heck is that guy's name? Oh my God. Totally out of my head. Dave LaChapelle, not out of my head. I'm like, what is his name? He's the one that talks about that kind of thing. And I'm not really familiar. I do believe when I look, now there's two trains of thought. I really hate this making noises, and I don't know how the noise thing got on it today. See, ghosts come in and they fuck with your electric. They fuck with everything. You could be the most organized person and some little spirit will come in and just go ping for fun, just to fuck with you. It's their way of amusing themselves. Stupid human tricks. Dave Chappelle. Okay, he was very interesting. If you watch his interviews, he talks about what goes on in Hollywood. He says what goes on in Hollywood. Everybody knows this shit goes on in Hollywood. Why y'all making like you don't know what goes, not you all, them all. So getting back to what we were talking about, the cloning center, when I looked at Michael Jackson's face, it's the only thing that made sense to me now. I didn't really think about it before, to tell you the truth. I'm quite sure they clone people. If you think about it and you put a fake leg on somebody, that's an element of cloning. It's cloning a leg. And they do say that stem cells can regrow other things, which I'm sure is what the whole abortion debate is about, is getting the stem cells from the fetuses in order to create other fetuses or other parts of the body. I believe they do this. But I think Disney cryogenics froze his freaking head, okay? So in case he came back. Do you realize those people actually think if they freeze their head, they're going to wake back up and be on a body? Like, what? Because the soul has to be there. So when the body, the vehicle dies, then the soul goes. There's no saving the soul to come back in. That's a sort of way of thinking of cloning in my mind. But when I looked at Michael Jackson's actual face, somebody sent me a picture, and I forget who it was, so forgive me, of Michael Jackson and those nose jobs. I never could understand what he was doing and why they were doing these repeatedly dumb fucking looking nose jobs. Like, if you were his plastic surgeon, you should not be employed because that's abusive and it's a breach of everything medical. You are not helping. You should not be taking his money. So I couldn't understand what the nose jobs were about. Nose connects to the sex organs, at least metaphysically. So he was sexually abused by his dad, I believe. This is what I think. Don't yell at me, people, Michael Jackson fans. Don't kill the messenger. This is my impression. So I thought maybe he was trying to kill his sex drive by cutting his nose up. But then somebody sent me a picture of an Egyptian god. It's a statue. Don't ask me the name of said statue. And I was like, mother bleeper, this guy is trying to look like this guy. And I was like, oh my God, this guy wants to transform himself into an Egyptian god. This is what he was doing with his face. When I understood that, then it made me think, yes, okay, there, raw. I guess it's raw. Don't quote me because I don't know much about that. But when I saw it, it clicked for me. And then I'm like, shit, do we even know if that was Michael Jackson? Because anybody with any kind of ego is not going to want to do that to their nose. I mean, you're going to fix it maybe twice, but you're going to have 13 nose jobs so you don't have a fucking nose. Chemically castrated him. I don't know what to say about that. I can't even go there. Apparently, Weinstein had a mangina, so read the transcript to that one. That's right, he had a vajayjay with no, castration. So they do this stuff, whatever, to each his own, but not to children. To each his own, but not to the freaking children. So I'm not sure what went on that, but when I saw the picture, I was like, oh my God, yes. And there's certain pictures of certain public figures, when I look at them and I'm like, they don't feel the same to me. Now, is cloning, I don't know what is cloning, right? I don't know to the extent of what they do. Do they experiment on people like the Nazis did? Remember the Nazis? Well, I wasn't alive, but they used to experiment and do surgeries on weird people. We're just going to ignore the noises that come from this freaking phone, okay? That's what we're going to do. The people, they used to make lamps out of flesh and shit like that. Like Hitler was a freak. It seems like a lot of that's going on today. It's like some kind of culture like that. So I don't know. They could very well and have always been trying to clone people over the years. They could very well have been trying to do that for any number of reasons, just for scientific experiment, to see what they could get away with, to see if they could make money making arms, boobs, legs, people, babies, whatever. So I have no idea. But I don't see why it wouldn't happen. I think we don't know a lot of things. So I'm going to say, I don't know if the clones are coming out like, hi, I'm a clone like this. But I mean, again, they can replace your arm. They can replace your eyes. Oh my God. Okay. So I had to do this now. OCD. One of the scariest things I ever saw, okay, in my life. And she was very lovely. But I did a show, in Atlanta. I flew to Atlanta for the day to do a show. It was a rapper show. I'm not going to say who. Maybe you'll know. And so I was reading the wife of the rapper. And it's a whole family show kind of thing. So I showed up there and I went to the door. Didn't even really look her up to see anything like what she looked like. When she answered the door, she's a beautiful woman. She answers the door. I'm looking at her eyes and I just about jumped back off the porch. I was like this. And so meanwhile, they're filming me coming in. So I can't be like too ostentatious or run off the porch. But she had actually, it was so startling. There was nothing like wrong with it. What was unusual was the color of her eyes and her skin. Her skin was dark. She's a black girl. Her eyes were this absolutely breathtaking gray blue light color, like heather gray blue kind of. And I could not connect her energy through her eyes. And I was like, it gave me a feeling of being in a mausoleum cemetery where you walk in those marble walls and all the people are here and here. And you can't get a feel for anything because it's like so much marble, I guess. I looked at her and anyway, they told me after, it wasn't Vanessa Williams, if that's what someone, no, it wasn't. Okay, yeah, it wasn't. But anyway, I found out after she had a cornea transplant, as in they don't do it in this country, but they do it in Africa. I think she went to South Africa, I want to say. It was amazing because you could actually go blind, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll wear contacts. I don't really care what color my eyes are. But I was like, oh my God, because when I knew that, after they told me, the producer told me, somebody told me, and I knew that, I actually was looking at her again, and I'm like, you really can't read the eyes. You can't feel. It was like almost like a marble, too much marble in a room feeling is, yeah, somebody got it right there with the TT. The TT. I was like, whoa, it was the most unusual experience I've never experienced. She was perfectly lovely, tons of fun. Daughter was a darling. Family was darling. Little boys were so cute, so cute. She had a lot of kids. She looked really good, had a lot of kids. But the eyes were so startling. Like it actually takes you aback. You're like, wow. And then when you find out what it is, it's like, I wonder if that does like do something to the meridian lines and the chakras behind the third eye. I wonder if it does something, if it disassociates it on some level. I don't know the answer to that, but it was like so interesting to me. I was like, wow. Yep, you know who. That's right, T. I'm just saying a T. But it was very interesting. It was I mean, it was all a fine thing. It wasn't Zsa Zsa Gabor. However, Zsa Zsa Gabor is interesting. Remember when she slapped the cop? Slap, and they threw her ass in jail? Poor Zsa Zsa, though. Look what happened to her. They just kept her, that husband of hers that went around saying he got Anna Nicole Smith pregnant. No, you didn't. Get a grip. He just threw that out there. It's like, let me throw this out there. I think I'll just say I got Anna Nicole Smith pregnant. No, you didn't. But yeah, poor Zsa Zsa Gabor. Remember the Gabor sisters, Green Acres, way before everybody's time, before my time too, but it was still running when I was a kid. Interesting concept. And then the way Zsa Zsa spent the last part of her life almost in purgatory in that bed, unable to move with her leg amputated. Such a gorgeous woman. And then her leg just basically amputated and in the bed with her husband, Prince Van whatever, him speaking for her, which seems like some kind of hell in my opinion. It seems like, oh my God. Yeah, so that was very interesting. When I saw the eyes like that and I saw the cornea transplant, it really kind of shocked me. I was like, that's very unusual. They do this, but here's another thing. When I thought of cloning, I thought, what if they say they do eye transplants like that to hide the fact that they actually clone? What if they do that? And I thought, that's possible too. That did cross my mind. But I then also thought, that is so sad that somebody feels they need to dig their eyes out to change the color to be a different color and not embrace their color. Like, that's what we should practice too when we're here in this quarantine, minus the tacos and the Starbucks trips, that kind of thing. We should actually practice accepting ourselves the way we are. And who did somebody say Arizona Wilder? I just heard about that. She goes against David Icke. I heard about that. I did hear about it. I don't know much about her. She has an opposing theory to David Icke, and I wouldn't doubt it. I like David Icke, but I can definitely see when you get that famous, you become controlled opposition. I think that's the way the powers that be. As soon as you go to make money on this planet to that level, that kind of like public notoriety to that extreme, at Taco Tuesday, and I'm going down the street and I'm going to risk getting the virus eating the taco. Just saying. Or I could have the margaritas delivered. I don't drink, but maybe some of you drink and you could come over for margaritas. Oh gosh, the neighborhood will be up in an uproar. That's right, we can't have visitations. Okay, when this whatever we're doing is over. But I heard about that Arizona Wilder, she was apparently, see, it happened, it's the Montauk Project, I think that's the name of it, out of Montreal, out of the mental hospitals in Montreal, in Canada, that they did in the 60s and 70s. I mean, it's a proven fact because the families of those people are still suing them, right? Mind control, sexual abuse, to see how you could fragment a human being's mind. Of course, these were the doctors that were in World War II, working for Hitler, coming into Canada under the false passports, calling themselves Germans or Jews, not Nazi killers, whatever they were. And they came into Canada and they were continuing on with Hitler's work, if it was his work and not a demon's work, Satan's work, whatever. And that's what happened. I think that's called the Montauk Project. If it isn't, correct me. But it's out of the hospitals in Montreal. That's actually what happened. That Arizona Wilder was from that. MK Ultra is real. I know this. I mean, hypnosis, take it to an extent, is a form of MK Ultra. What we're talking about is giving them trigger words like a clap, trigger phrases, trigger things, which is what social distancing is. We're all being triggered to like look at people and go, oh, you don't social distance. Again, with this. Okay, use a different word. Ask people to be respectful, courteous, clean, wash your hands, don't go out if you're sick. This is all common sense. Common sense. And here's another thing, just while I now have switched tangents again. If we're going to pick on the people of America, what I would like to see happen is people like Oprah, David Geffen, John Travolta, whoever else, Richard Branson, all of these people that have billions of dollars or $500 million or are a billionaire, whoever these people are, I would like to see you take your money instead of the taxpayers' money and start making whatever, masks, whatever it is these people need. Because they're asking, you've got money to solve the problem and you don't do it. Jeff Bezos, yep, him. Ellen, what are you doing with your money? What are you doing? Why do you have all this money and you're not contributing? Seriously. Kylie Jenner, another one. Let's just have these people make masks. Let's have them be socially responsible. You want me to wash my hands every 5 minutes? That's what I can do. So I want you to give up part of your money. You have enough money. Simon Cowell, Ryan Seacrest, whoever, list goes on. Okay, yeah, they should. Well, you could end, I mean, the Queen Elizabeth, let's, you know, I love to bag on that old bitch. Yeah, I called her an old bitch. That's right. I did. I really did. Anyway, why aren't they giving something over? Why is it just us? Why are we scolded by them? Why are you telling me to stay home? How about this? How about this, Madonna? Give your money for masks. I want to see you give, I don't know, $23 million to make masks. How about that? That would be productive. How about you put your fucking money where your mouth is and stop stealing money from the taxpayers in your shitty concerts? Why don't you try that? I'm just asking. You have all this money. Why do we have starving kids? It's not your obligation, but what would be wrong with you doing that? You want to take charity money from us, the Girl Scouts, UNICEF, all of this. We have to give money, give money, give money all the time. Why don't you people give money? You just hoard, hoard, hoard. Something about our society is changing because Saturn in Aquarius is humanitarian. Okay, humanitarian. So that's what we need to do. We need to tell the ventilators, thank you. Thank you. I was trying to think of the other shit they need. Ventilators, we can do it. If we have money, we can do it. If you have sewing machines, you can do it. If you have material, you can do it. But I want to understand Barry Manilow. Oh my God, who said Barry Manilow? Is he still here? Yeah, him too, though. Him too, right? Barry Manilow, twice Barry Manilow. Oh, I love Marvin Gaye. Isn't it Marvin Gaye's birthday tomorrow? Let's look it up. I love Marvin Gaye because he's in Aries and I have a special place in my heart for Aries. Love Marvin Gaye. Let's look up Marvin Gaye. I do love Marvin Gaye. Don't you all? Wasn't he just sexy as hell? And he could sing. Can you imagine being on a date with him and he could sing like that? Heaven, another dead guy that I think is beautiful. Okay, April 2nd, 1939. That is unbelievable. 1939. So let's see, how old would he be? 39. I've got to add in my head. Okay, so he would be 81. Oh my God, Marvin Gaye would be 81. Such a beautiful man. Now, here's what I found interesting. I mean, oh my God. So, I know I keep seeing Lane Stanley. You know, I get a hollow feeling with him. I will try to focus on him, but going back to Marvin Gaye's energy was interesting to me. Marvin Gaye, so interesting, his own father shot him in the head. That was like, that's a trip. But I'm going to look his chart up and see why. He was in Aries. Aries rules the head. What I tell you, Aries rules the head. But Marvin Gaye, that was the finishing and completion of karma, and it shouldn't have happened. It was straight out murder is what I get. I know the family's going to say the dad had dementia. It was an accident. Blah, 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 blah. I don't actually think that. I don't get that feeling. I feel like there was intention behind it and jealousy behind it. I do. I'm going to put his natal chart in. We're going to see Marvin Gaye. See what he was because I can't remember. Beautiful, amazing singer. Sometimes you look back at those people and it's like, God, I wish I'd have known them. Maybe next life I will know Marvin Gaye, but he won't be Marvin Gaye and I won't know he's Marvin Gaye. That's going to suck. Let's see. All right, let's look at his chart. I'm looking at his chart. Oh my God. Okay, well, this explains the whole murder aspect. Sun in Aries. Moon in Virgo, incredibly psychically insightful. Mercury in Aries, argumentative. We know this. Just whenever you see Aries, just put in the word argumentative. Passionately argumentative, feeling to be right. Venus in Pisces, walked over in life. Mars in Capricorn, now that's militant as hell. But Mars was in, now there you go. Okay. Ascendant 24-27 Cancer. Conjuncts my Venus. No wonder I found him cute. Okay, so, but that's how you look for it. Something conjuncts your Venus, whatever. Anyway, ascendant was 24 Cancer, but here's the kicker. Pluto was at 29 Cancer in his first house, opposing that Mars in Capricorn. That is a murder aspect, if ever there was one, when it was triggered. I'm going to have to see what day he died, when he actually died. I don't know when he died, what year he died, but that would be an aspect. People with Mars-Pluto oppositions or Mars-Pluto squares, these are the people that get into these relationships where it's really crazy, you know, where it's nutty. He died 1984, April 1st. Oh my God, he almost made it to his birthday and his dad just couldn't let that happen. Very interesting, but I loved Marvin Gaye. I will have to channel him. Love him. Bob Marley, love him. Bob Marley was like a happy-go-lucky guy, and he actually spoke about this. Edie Sedgwick, yeah, Edie Sedgwick was, that's an interesting, because that's a combination of Mars trine Pluto. Okay, Mars trine Pluto is better if you can get yourself up and out of it, right? Oh my God. Love something. Yeah, so the Andy Warhol, yeah, that's exactly right. Edie Sedgwick, to me, she has the energy of somebody that's born into dark energy, and as a result took the dark energy with her throughout her life. So I feel like that's why she had a very short life. I think she was pretty young when she passed away, if I remember correctly. I don't really remember it, but if I remember reading about it, I think she was pretty young. Actually, Elton John. Okay, so I should shut up. I love Elton John. I love Elton John. Couldn't tell you. Did go to see him in concert. Very good, very entertaining, very awesome. But I haven't actually, what can I tell you? I haven't actually focused on it. But I'm going to say, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to hold off on that one. Okay. All right. So getting back to the energy. Now, what I'm going to do is, I haven't thought about Patsy Cline in a shitload of years. I do know she had bad choice in men. I completely forgot my water over there. I have to get it. And then I'm going to do 3 pile cards. So you're going to look at the blank screen for a minute, which is so not like good, but I have to get my water because I'm being driven crazy. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Just pretend I'm here and I'm gone. Okay, I showed you guys my Kenny Rogers picture, so you've already seen that. So thirsty. Oh my God. There, I have it in a bottle. How long does a virus live on plastic? This concerns me when you buy the plastic bottles. However, mine have been in my house and have never been out. Okay, so we're going to do a 3 card spread. 3 card piles, questions and answers. I'm going to take more water. Wait, will you talk about Aaron Hernandez? I will. You know, I'm going to try to actually channel him. So I'm going to try to do a separate video. I think Bob Marley was murdered. I do feel that. I do feel it. I feel like he was playing chess. I just heard to say that. Meaning, I feel like he knew he was going to get murdered, but it was like a chess game and he lost. That's what I feel. Okay, so I am using... This is the Zen Deck. Have you guys seen this deck? This is a real pretty one. That's a pretty image. This is the Zen Deck. So this is one I'm going to use. The really beautiful cards. See? You can see. And I like this deck because this is the modern, it's called the Modern Witches Tarot, but it is a spin on the Rider-Waite deck, but it is a modern one. So it has, when you look at the images have people of color on them. So it's got a little bit of a different spin. It's got a little bit of a different spin. So it's the modern day witch tarot, I think is what they call it. Anyway, it was a total on freaking back order for the longest freaking time. So I had to stalk the website to get it, the store, but I got it. Okay, so I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to use, yep, you know which deck's coming out over here. That's right. It's going to be the sexual magic deck. Because we got some naked people on it. That's what we're going to do. I just like this deck. This is going to be the relationship part. So we're going to do it like that. Okay, so I am going to just shuffle 3 piles. So I want you guys focus, clear our heads, focus. Okay, I love Desi Arnaz Sr. You know it. He's my man. I just liked him because I thought, I don't know, he was so interesting. Cuban band leader. Again, from my Cuban past life. All right, so 3 days on plastic. This hasn't even been out of my house. The sexual magic deck, that's what it is. And it's got great pictures. They're naked. Can't show light of those pictures. Okay, so sexual magic deck, when you look at it, it looks like this on the back. And then apparently this dude has 2 chicks over here. So it looks like this on the front. This is the back. Yay, I know, sexual magic deck. I know everybody loves this deck. I didn't even think I would like this deck. T.I. and Tiny. Oops, did I say that? All right. So what I'm going to do, I want you guys to focus. Focus. Richard Simmons, to me, is being held hostage. That's what I'm going to say. Richard Simmons is being held hostage. Richard Simmons did a lot for people in his life, losing all that weight, and I think that he's emotionally, I think he's been manipulated, which I think happens to a lot of people later on in life when they're afraid of dying and what's going to happen. I think it happens a lot. Okay, can you discuss 8th and 12th house? I can, and I may, but I don't know that it'll be tonight. Okay, let me see. The internet connection keeps having interference. I don't think it's on my end because I'm looking at it and it seems okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, pick pile number 1, pile number 2. The eyeshadow is Stila Plum Love, and it's a glitter. It's freaking plum love. I love plum. Okay. Pick a, that's what I'm doing. Pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. So pick a number. Think of your question. And pick a pile. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. All right. So I'm doing all 3 piles right now with the 3 decks that I mentioned, and I'm not looking. Okay. So this is what I'm doing. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Now we're going to do the Zen cards on top of it. This takes a lot of time. Sorry, you guys. So we're going to put that one down. I shuffle the decks before I get on, but I just pull them out of the middle. That's like kind of how I do it. Okay, Stila. Yeah, but I think it's Styla. Okay, so we've done that. And now we're going to take the sexual magic deck. Okay, Miss Kitten wants one. I like that name, Miss Kitten. Another one by Rosie Rose. A number 2, a number 3. Number 3, Stella. Stella's picking number 2, okay? Stella picks number 2. Number 2. Okay, so I'm putting this, and we're going to see. We're going to see. And I will maybe possibly pull a 4th card, depending on if I see what I like. Meaning, if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm going to have to pull a 4th card. Okay, so pile number 1. Here we go with you. Okay, this is fantastic. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Rebel. I'm going to tell you what it means in a second. And we have, I'm looking at this. We have the Knight of Cups. So this is what we have, but it's Knave of Cups. Okay, oops. So we have these 3 cards, pile number 1. All right, let's go at it psychically. Let's tune in right now because the tarot cards to me are just a backdrop psychically. I don't read them like a traditional tarot card reader. But what I am getting is pile number 1 is waiting to hear something from somebody. So you guys are waiting for a message. And here's the interesting thing. You are going to get a message within the next, I'm going to say 13 days, just under 2 weeks. And you're going to get a message but it's not going to be the message you want. The other part that's happening is you're going to make a decision about whether you follow what you've been doing so far, or do you change the course of your direction right away? Do you change it suddenly? And pile number 1 is going to change the course of their direction in their life within 2 seconds of getting this message. So whatever the message is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic message. Whatever that message is for you, you are going to change the direction of your, I love Aries. You know I love Aries. You're going to change the direction of what you're doing, and you're not going to follow suit with what is traditional. You're literally going to go in a different direction. So this is about basically rebelling from the status quo that you've set into motion and taking yourself in a different direction. Now, I'm going to pull one more card here because I want to see what direction you're going in. Oh my God. Okay. There we go. Where you're going is you're going into yourself. So this is going to happen for you because you do not know who you are. And I'm not saying like in a weird way you don't know who you are, but this is a time of self-reflection. The message is going to come to you. You're not going to like what it is. You're going to go over here and change the direction and the course of your life and push into self-reflection. This is what I see happening for you. So I see this as basically beginning to know who you are and why you do what you do, and putting yourself over here in a time out so that you can really move forward on a different path against the will of everybody around you, because everybody's going to want to tell you what to do. That's exactly what that's about. That's what I'm seeing. I'm going to pull one more for good luck, just to be obnoxious. This is when I'll do it for the other piles too. So after that, okay, this tells me we pull the Master card. So you guys know that saying that one cannot be a master until one has truly walked the path. They cannot say they are a master. All these people out there remind me of, I'm a master, I'm a fucking expert. No, you're not. You haven't walked the path. This is why you're going in a completely different direction, because it's taking you into your own mastery of the self. So this is naked master. Okay, who's being cheeky there? I appreciate it though. They should be naked while they're on their way to their spiritual journey. They are kind of naked though under their robes, right? Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, it's taking you in a different direction. I can't say Stella again, but I really want to because I have Tourette's. Stella! It's taking you in a different direction. So this is about a message you're going to receive. The information that you receive is not going to be what you want. This could be romantic, but it kind of looks a little bit like it might be twofold in regards to a relationship, but in regards to what you want to do. And you're going to go completely to the right, not the left. And once you get over here to the right, you are by yourself. And once you are by yourself, you are then mastering yourself. Okay. So you are actually mastering what you do. So pile 1, this is a journey inward to discover who you are as a person and what you do and how you do it. And there goes the bloody door again. But this is a mastery for you to do this. So this is perfect. This is a time of isolation, which you're not to fear, because it's taking you down the road you want to your mastery. Here's what happens when we master something. Usually when we go off, I'm just going to use this. When somebody goes off and they lick their wounds because they didn't get what they want or something happened to them and it wasn't what they expected, they go off over here, and then they, through the pain or through the isolation, they are able to master their emotions. If I can master them, I know how to transcend them. If I can transcend them, I can teach you how to transcend them. That's what I see happening for you guys in pile number 1, which is amazing. Okay. So that's amazing. I'm going to take more water because literally, I'm slacking on exercise. Someone just texted me they're slacking on exercise. Tomorrow, get up, do it again. Okay, so pile number 2. Let's see what you're all about. I picked pile number 2 too. I hope it's good. I really fucking hope it's good. Okay. Oh. Excellent. All right. So we have the Justice card. We have the Courage card. And we have the 7 of Cups or Chalices card. Okay, so these are the 3 cards we have. Now, let me go into it psychically. All right, so this to me is balancing out a relationship because of that 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is on its way to 10 of Cups, but the 7 is a spiritual diversion. So it's going to take a lot of inner courage, okay, because the courage card shows up with the balance, in order to align yourself correctly with, oh, jeez. Hold on one second while I do this. I am videoing right now and I'll call you back. You're now on camera. This is an Aries on camera. I'm on the phone. I told them I was going to answer. I'm doing a card reading. Card number 2. Okay, bye. All right. So he's like, oh. I had to answer. I thought it would be fun to answer. Can you imagine the nightly news with somebody answer? Howard Cosell, excuse me. Excuse me, I need to answer my phone. Just struck me as funny. I'm a comedian at heart here. Okay, getting back to the card reading. We have the Justice, we have the Courage, and we have the 7 of Chalices, which is really 7 of Cups. This is emotionally asking for what you want in a relationship without fear of being rejected. So Keithy, oh my God, I hope Keithy loves me. I think Keithy loves me. He's my son. I'm not being weird. Sometimes he doesn't talk to me. Was that Keith or Jason? No, I'm not telling who it was. I'm not telling. Anyway, I'm like, I'm on camera. Okay, so we keep getting interrupted in number 2. Okay, so number 2, what this is you need to have the emotional strength to pursue a relationship the way you choose to. It's about bringing the balance back into your relationship. So what has happened in the relationship that has left you off balance? Does somebody not communicate with you? Does somebody not give you or ask, when you ask for your need, I know Kiwi loves me. Does somebody not give you what you need emotionally in the relationship? That's what this is about. Now, remember, the 7 to me is always spiritual, and the balance card is interesting because there's a very big difference between balance and spiritual balance. Okay, those are 2 different things, and that's what's happening in this relationship. To me, this is a karmic relationship. Stella is calling. Stella, that's hilarious. Yeah, I know. Fucking Stella's calling. She's calling from the other side. She's dead, and she's calling. But spiritual balance and spiritual balance are 2 different things. So what is happening for pile number 2 is that they're in the process of redefining a relationship based on, does it meet your balance? Is it spiritually correct? Is it karmically correct? This to me is like a soulmate connection. I'm going to explain soulmate again for the umpteenth 5,000th time. Soulmate, and we have many soulmates. Soulmate is somebody who we have spent past lifetimes with, we recognize, and there is a soul contract between the 2. We don't have to do it. And I'm going to change my thinking on free will. I always say we have free will. I'm going to say this. I believe we have free will in the way we respond to those things which are fated in our life. This pile number 2 has a very fated choice coming up. Do they choose to step into the karma that has not been played out yet, even though it is emotionally draining them because it's not giving them what they want? Or do they move on and say, I'm going to go off on my own because I'm going to heal myself and I'm going to pray that the right soulmate comes to me, and I'm going to take a chance on that. And that is so scary for a lot of us. Now I'm going to pull another card over here. I'm going to pull another card. Here we go with another card. Here we go. There you go. Got your answer. Shit. Tom Hanks died? Who said this? Is that true? We got your answer here. Here's the answer we got. With your relationship, is it, do you jump into the soulmate situation? A lot of people will say, she is my soulmate. Okay, that's true. You can totally feel that. Like, you can feel the soulmate. You can feel them, and you just want to, you want to have their babies. You see them. You don't even know them, and you're like, I want to get knocked up by that guy. That's a soulmate thing, right? But what's this say? Letting go. This is a letting go circumstance. This is the answer for this one, you guys. You are going to take a chance on Queen Elizabeth died. Are you joking? No. Is it a joke? I have to Google this. Wait, I can't. No distractions. Stop tricking me up there. I can't even feel it. Anyway, this is you choosing to let go, okay? You choosing to let go of the relationship that is a soulmate, and moving into a spiritual component. The spiritual component is what you're going to choose. So letting go, goodbye folks, that's good. Hello folks, fuck off with that, okay? Don't address people as folks. You sound like you're being condescending, really. Okay, so this here is interesting because the balance is in the fact that on a karmic level, you understand that this soulmate that you've met is not working for you correctly at the moment. So the soulmate connection is overpowering, but you're choosing to go in a spiritual direction yourself, okay? You're going in a spiritual direction. So that's what I'm seeing for pile number 2. And let's just throw one more to see what happens after you let go of the soulmate relationship and choose to move on from it. Let's see what that is. Ooh, that is so good. Okay. Ask a question, get an answer. Projections. Now that is so interesting because you are going to run right smack dab into the next person who is in the process of going through the exact same thing as you, and the two of you are going to mirror it. So the new soulmate that comes in, remember, we have many, many different soulmates, okay? Many different soulmates. People make a mistake. He's my soulmate. I can never let him go. Shut up. He's a soulmate with a purpose. You do connect with some, but you will see several. You could have 7 of them show up on Earth right now. You could. You really could. So you're going to marry them all, have sex with them all, have kids with them all? Wait, what deck is this? This is the Zen Deck. This one. It's the Zozo Zen. I think it's Z-O-Z-O Zen. But just look for the Zen Deck. Zen Deck. But this is interesting because the projection card is mirroring. The two of you are mirroring each other. So the new relationship, they have gone through what you have gone through, and you have gone through, both of you, and it mirrors each other. Therefore, the starting ground in the relationship is even. And what we talked about in the beginning, which was the balance card, is exactly that when you start the new relationship. But you have to have the courage to let go. So number 2, that is your reading. So now we go to number 3. Number 3, what's up for number 3? Number 3. Okay, number 3. Okay. All right, number 3, I think I'm feeling to, wow, there you go, pick number 2. Number 3, I think I'm appealing more to women on number 3. I don't know if there's any men here, it can apply to you, but I get the feeling this is feminine driven. Okay, so the first card we have is the 7 of Wands. Look at this. I love this because the artist has done them in all different modern day clothing, different colorings. So this is the first time we have this deck where it's not all one thing or another, which I really like. So we have the 7 of Wands. We have the Mortality card. And then we have the High Priestess card right here from the Sexual Magic deck. Now, what this means, you guys, from what I see, I'm going to do the reading, but I'm getting it right now very clear. Okay, there we are. There's a 3 for pile number 3. What I'm getting is this is female energy needing to reinvent themselves before it's too late. Whoever picked number 3, I guess it could apply to a man too. Whoever picked number 3 needs to reinvent themselves now because they are wasting their time expressing themselves the way that they are. The 7 of Wands is spiritual insight message into what it is you need to move forward with, okay, with yourself. Mortality means you feel like you're running out of time. So, for example, a woman that's raised 3 kids, stayed at home all the time, not knowing what to do. Suddenly her kids are in college and then she's in menopause. She's got some kind of belly and she's like hostile as hell. And she's like, what am I going to do for the next 20 years? I'm going to like continue eating Haagen-Dazs at night and not doing anything? No, I'm going to step up and change my life. And this isn't the end of me. I'm going to change myself. And then in comes the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess commands a lot of respect when it comes to shifting. And she comes in with exactly what we were talking about before when we were saying, let's reinvent ourselves creatively. The high priestess is the one that comes in to do that. She comes in to change your creative energy. So this is what your number 3 is. Now I'm going to pull one more card for you guys from the Zen deck, like I did the other two, to see where that creatively leads us. There you go. Look at the freaking card. And I didn't pull it on purpose. The creator. So the connection here with pile number 3, which again, I think is driven by somebody who is waiting, has waited, has given up their life doing something else. Like, I'm a mother. I work at this job. I gave my life up for a career. I didn't have kids. I never had a boyfriend. I worked all the time. You know, I don't feel good about myself. So I'm not going to, thank you so much for that. That's the first one. I've seen them all night and thank everybody, but I just caught that one right now. And my brain clicked in to say thank you. So this is the pile where the person needs and has to start doing something differently because it's that time in their life. So it's like that menopause time, or that I'm hitting 42 time, or my kids are going to college time, or my husband left me for that bitch secretary that I knew he was screwing with all those years time. All of that. That's what's happening. The creator, it means basically to bring forth the essence of who you are. Stand out there with who you are. It means bring forth dynamic change to be who you are. So it's saying, don't shut down because you're 50, 60, 70, your husband took off with the whore from work. Don't do that. Just step forward. So number 3 means get yourself up and be a boss. I think we're talking about mostly women here. If there's a man, it's applicable to them taking action now. You don't have much more time. The creator card is also saying, if not now, when? Okay, so that's what I want to say. Picking one more to be fair because I did this with every deck. So the outcome of this is very interesting. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. This is interesting. So it's the schizophrenia card. It does not mean schizophrenia. Do you see the cards? It's an interesting card. It's the schizophrenia card, but what it means actually in reference to this reading is you are bridging 2 parts of yourself together. And at first, when you start doing this, you may feel a little bit crazy and out of your mind. You have to get past that. That's what it is. So you need to get past that. And once you get past that, you are able to create the essence of who you are. So number 3, take fucking action. That's from me. Take action. So that's the card reading. So we did number 1, number 2, number 3. And whoever said boom, boom. Okay, so that's what we did there. We did that. Wait, let's see. Anyone feel all 3 relates to feel I feel. Okay, so whatever that was, I agree. So number 1, number 2, number 3. Also remember when you are reading cards, I don't read the cards, the tarot cards like tarot readers. I literally just throw them down, and if I don't usually read them when I'm reading, but if I'm looking at the cards and I'm looking at it, then I just pull a card up and I will like look at it and I immediately flash in an impression in my head. That's what I do. If I'm not reading, I'm not using cards reading, I just get the impressions. That's what happens. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm getting. Now, I'm going to teach you, just because y'all are here right now, y'all, because I'm from Kentucky or somewhere south, because I say y'all. All right, so I'm going to teach you guys a spread. I think I want to teach you guys this because so many of you want to know what your boyfriends, girlfriends, people are thinking, okay? This is a very easy spread, and my friend Deanna taught it to me because I just throw 3 cards out at a time. That's what I do. I don't even put them in an order. I don't do the Celtic cross. I don't care. I'm that lazy. I throw them out, and then I open the cards up if I'm doing that. As I said, I don't use the cards a lot, but I'm going to teach you this spread, and I'm going to have to like point the camera down, show you the mess in my room. And Andrew uses tarot cards. There you go. Well, this, I don't know if you know this spread, Andrew. Pop back around when I show you and tell me if you know this spread. So what you do is you shuffle your cards, okay? So you shuffle them. And let's say your question is about the relationship between you and your partner, whether you be male or female. So you're asking this question. You're like, okay, this is between me and my partner. So you shuffle the cards. one card, and I'm going to show the camera when this is done, and you'll keep going around like this, but the first card is in the middle. So this is a card you would pull that is in the middle of the relationship. You're asking about yourself and your partner. Okay, oh shit, I didn't see it. I'll see it in a second. It'll come back around. It's like a revolving door. It keeps coming back around. So the first card you put down is one in the middle. Now, when you're facing the cards to the left side, okay, to the left side, that is your reading on the left side. So it's how you're experiencing, how you feel about your partner. The right side of this will be how your partner feels about you. The card in the middle will be what is in between you and your partner. So you will then put the card in the middle. You will start at the top left side and you will pull one card. That is how you think. You will pull another card. That is how you feel. And you will pull another card. That is what you show. So what you think, what you feel, and what you show, okay? What you think, what you feel, and what you show to the world. So you will read that on your side of the card and you will know, okay, never done it this way. Awesome. Okay. So what you think, what you know, what you feel. I'm going to show you guys how it looks on top of my messy computer's desk and nonsense over here. You will do that. So when you get to the bottom, okay, so how you think, how you feel, how you know. Then it goes like a horseshoe across the bottom. On the bottom of the right side, which is your partner or whomever you're asking about, you will put the first card there. It is placed in what they show because, again, it's opposite of what you show. You will go there to then what they feel. So you go up like a horseshoe and then what they think. So it's placed like that, but it's like this, a horseshoe. So it's like what I think, what I feel, and what I show. And then across the bottom, your partners will be what I show, what I feel, and what I think. And you'll look at the cards and you can go around and around. Then you'll put another card in the middle. And let's see. Well, I'll just put another card in the middle to show you so you can see the two cards. You will read it like that. So it goes like a horseshoe from top left around the bottom to top right. And that's an easy way. You can do that. You can do that yourself. Like you can actually get impressions and see, write them down. Start practicing. Okay, I'm ridiculously taking my whole ridiculous stand. Can you see? Oh, okay. So I don't even know if you guys can see. Don't mind my weird stand. Can you see? Okay, that's how it's set up. So did you guys see that? Yeah, I have this little stupid tripod on here. Did you see that? Okay. Let's look. Okay, good. You saw it. I'm like, okay. So there you go. I know. Now I'm crooked. I'm going to be crooked for the rest of the night, y'all. Anyway, that's how you do it. So I want you to remember on the far left side, sorry, I don't have my stuff set up. I have to put it at a certain angle, and I just don't have the time during the day to be a responsible adult and set things up correctly. Because I'm way too fucking hyper for that shit. Let's hope that doesn't fall back. Okay, why am I crooked? Okay, for God's sakes. I'm trying to get my iPad set up to do it, and it doesn't. I need help. Anyway, okay, so again, let's say, okay, here's one. Let's say you're asking a question between you and your boss. Just make that up, okay? You and your boss. So you're going to shuffle the cards and you're going to say, you're going to say in your head, shuffle, 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 shuffle 5 times. Just flip, 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 flip 5 times is good. On the 5th time, pull the card for the middle. It sits in the middle. This is what you want to know about you and your boss. I'm just making that up, but if that were the case. So the card in the middle represents what's in between the two of you. So when you ask about how does my boss feel about me? What do I feel about him? It's like, what is between the two of you? Is it good kind of connection? Then you go to the top left side, and that is what you think. Left is you, what you think. Pull another card, what you feel. Another card, what you show. What you think and what you feel can be quite different from what you show. Okay, so that can be totally different. Then you go around the bottom to your boss's side, partner's side, or whatever side, whoever you're asking about. Could be you and your kid. God knows I've done that a lot, right? When my Jason was a teenager, I want to know what the hell that kid was up to. Yeah. Anyway, so you go to the bottom and go around like a horseshoe. So left and then to right. But you're putting the first card down at the bottom. So it's what they show. Then it's what they feel and what they think. Horseshoe from left to right. One card in the middle. If it's not clear, throw another card in the middle and go around the deck again. That's how you do it. What you think, what you feel, and what you show on the left is you. What they show, what they feel, and what they think going up like a horseshoe is them. And before you do any of it, you throw a card in the middle, and that's how you do it. This is one of my friends, Deanna, one of my very besties. Deanna, this is how she reads, and she taught me that. So now I'm teaching you guys that because it's such a great way to read. She made me do it. I was asking her a question and she made me do it. And I was like, no, I don't want to learn it. I don't want to learn to do that. But it was really interesting because it's literally a relationship thing. It's a relationship thing that you can do, right? So it's totally cool. So what you think, what you feel, and what you show. So the card on the bottom on the left is what you showed to people around you. And then across the bottom is what the person you're asking about shows, what they feel, and at the top, what they think. Horseshoe. First card in the middle, that's the interaction between the two of you. And you can do it till the whole deck's gone. Like you could sit there all night and do it. God knows we have when I'm with Deanna. So we have done this. So that's what I'm going to say. So that's how you kind of do that one. That's really the only spread I use. And I use that just for fun. It's interesting sometimes. Does this work for strangers? Yeah. If you want to know what somebody thinks of you that you just met at a party who you don't know, absolutely, because it'll open the insight into showing them what they thought about you. I don't know if it's like for strangers you've never met in your entire freaking life. Like, what does the guy that I never met yet think? I don't know. But if you met somebody at a party, you met them and you don't know them and you want to know, did that guy notice me? So did the guy in the green sweater at the party notice me? Yes. How do I interpret the cards? Okay, so that's a great question since we're doing the tarot card thing. How do we interpret cards? I don't fucking know because I don't read the book. But I can say you could read the book because you need to know what the wands are. You need to know what what each of the cards are, what the cups are, what they stand for. So you know the king and the queen. The king is the king. The queen is the queen. So it's like the father, the mother, okay? And then you have the knights, which are people that are middle-aged. Then you have the pages, which are the babies, the children cards, and the messenger cards, okay? And then you go from 10, 9, 8, 7 down, which incorporates numerology and different things depending on which. So the way that you interpret them, the way that I taught myself, because I learned I was psychic and I did astrology. So I get a lot from my astrology. So if I can look at a chart, I can pretty much read anybody. But I would just ask their birthday and click into the energy psychically that way. When I started reading cards, I was in my 30s and I didn't want to read them, but people didn't want me just like not having, like they were so used to tarot readers. Where I was working at the time, they're like, well, don't you read cards? I'm like, no, I don't read cards. So I learned to read them so that these people would stop asking me that question. Then I started collecting decks. So the way that you interpret them, I want you to look at a deck of cards for, well, not those. The Zen deck is kind of like, it's an oracle deck. So a regular deck of cards, like, the Robert Hansen deck. This deck is like the regular Rider-Waite deck, but with a spin on it. So more caricatures or more brighter colors. You can find a deck that resonates with you. Probably want to start with a basic Rider-Waite. And when you see a card, so this is the King of Pentacles. When you see a card, I want you to just focus. I want you to look at the card. What do you see? Yes, soul contracts are real. What do you see? What do you see in this card? What is back here? What does he look like? How does his face look? What does this look at the art of the card? What does it bring to you? What do you feel about it? Okay, so that's how you read a card. I actually, when my granddaughter, when Rascal Pants is here and she's learning, we throw the cards out, and I've even done this with her on Facebook. I've said, like, live Facebook, what do you think of this? What does it mean? And she takes a whole other spin, and it's accurate. So it's very interesting. It's her interpretation. Remember, insight is going to come from you. You're the one doing the reading. So it's how you interpret it. I don't get too caught up. I mean, read the book to learn what wands are, what, coins are, cups, whatever, whichever deck, they word them different. Do that in order to know the basics, the fundamentals. But when you look at a card, what does it make you feel? What does the color make you feel? What is in the picture? What happens? Now let's pull out the Sexual Magic deck. This is probably more of an advanced deck in that it has, I mean, unless you just want to look at like, particular pictures. Okay, so here's a really graphic one. I know y'all are going to be like, Jesus, Sloan. Okay, so this is the Knight of Swords. Okay, naked guy looking up, whatever, the chick standing there. So if you were reading this card, what is she standing on? She's standing, she's leaning on a sword. She is naked, but she is also in control, right? She's in control in this picture. He is not in control because he's distracted by that stuff that's going on. Then you want to look around the pictures. What does it look like? Is this a business deal? What does her face look like? What is it? So you want to observe the card. You want to look at it. My favorite deck, I have to get it. You know me, I have to go off stage again. Stage left. Hold on. I have to get my very favorite deck. I have two favorite decks, but this is probably my most favorite deck. And it's the one I work with. I love the Rider-Waite, the herbal deck, okay, that has the herbs that heal, because I do medically intuitive stuff and I love it when the herbs come up. I love flowers, I love herbs, I love all of that alchemy. But this is the basic Rider-Waite deck, okay? Oh, shit, dropped a card. Ace of Swords. So when you look at it, when you look at this picture, this is in this deck. All the Rider-Waite is the same, but they all draw something different on it. So this has, you have the chamomile plant, you have the swords, you have the crown on the top of the swords. What does this tell you about this? So what are swords? The information that's coming through. What is in this picture? What is happening? That's how you first start to read. You just get impressions. The other thing to do is ask a friend, do you have a question? And your friend might say, am I going to get the job that I interviewed for on Thursday? Throw 3 cards and look at it and see what you get. Throw 1 card. See what the answer is. Describe the cards. See if it makes sense to your friend. But you got to practice somewhere. You don't got to be perfect, but you got to practice somewhere. Problem with psychic readings is they say, some people will go, well, the psychic was, not everything happened. Well, no one said they were God. So you're going with the instinct. So you have to allow it. It's intuitive art. It's not like, hi, this is medical surgery or dental work where we're pulling your wisdom teeth and there's one way to do it. It's not that at all. You're an intuitive artist. So you can look at the cards. How does it make you feel? What do you think? What's the first thought that comes into your head? What do you feel about that? Does the deck resonate with you? That kind of thing. So when you look at the 9 of Pentacles and it's grapes, that's the plant, the herb that's on there. What does this make you feel? This is my most favorite deck, and it's the herbal deck. Look at the rosemary on the back. Absolutely my favorite deck because of that. I've just always loved the herbal deck because I love anything flowers. But I would say that's how you start. When my kids were little, I just would put it in front of them. I'd be like, here, what do you think of this? Same with crystals. When my kids would pick a crystal, I'm like, which one do you want to pick? It's not a right or wrong thing. That's the beauty. That's why you can't really test psychics or tarot card readers or anything, nor should it be, because it's intuitively artistic. It bubbles up from inside. It's different. You can't contain it. That's why we do it. Because it's not controlled, okay? Stop trying to control it, people. So it depends on what deck you want. First, look at a deck that speaks to you. What colors do you like? And as you grow in your life, you will find that you are attracted at different times in your life to different decks. There's so many different. I have one in my room over there I love. I'm not going to get it, but it's a combination of astrology, palmistry, and It's palmistry and numerology, and it's in French. And it's it's the same age as me, this deck. And I just absolutely fucking love it, okay? It's out of print. And I think that deck costs like $100. It's ridiculous because you can't find it. I lost 2 of the cards in my other deck. So that was a birthday gift for me. No, it's not confusing. It's not confusing. It's so not confusing. You just have to go with it. Don't make it confusing. Stay really open in your space, really open. Just be like open about it. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. If you're doing a reading or doing something, it doesn't matter if you're wrong. That's ego. If readers worry about being wrong, then they are stuck in their ego. So because I don't want to be wrong, I'm not going to say it. Why don't I just say what I get? And if you think I'm wrong, okay, I'm wrong. So what? What? Am I going to get shot because I'm wrong? Okay, I'm wrong. Let's move on. And here's another thing. When you're describing in a psychic way or a tarot way, and you're describing something to somebody, the context and the wording that you use and the way that you describe it can be perceived by the person hearing it in a different way. And it may not fit until circumstances happen. Timing is very fluid and can be confusing. So if you get timing in your head, I ask people to look around in the timing. Do you see a time of year in the picture or the feeling? Does it feel like winter? Does it feel like Christmas? What does it feel like? I want you to put your intuition to words. I want you to bring it out and put it to words. This is what I want you to do. I don't want you to worry if you're wrong. How can you read if you're wrong? How can you paint if you're wrong? How can you get up in the morning if you're going to be wrong? We are all wrong all the time. I just want you to create intuitively. So I just want you to open up and do it. That's the way that I feel it should be done. That's the way that I would do it. But I'm not a card reader. I'm a psychic. So I like to use it, if I'm going to, as a backdrop. So some people read cards and it's very specific the way that they read them. Excuse me. My beer drinking days. I'm kidding. I never drank beer. So that's how I do it. So that's what I would say. I love pendulums. I don't have my pendulum here. It's over there. I love pendulums. But again, when you use a pendulum is a crystal or an object on a string. And you kind of hold it like this. But when you use a pendulum, you actually have, I'm not familiar with runes. I know what runes are, but I don't read runes. And I've never gravitated towards them. But a pendulum, you have to be careful. The pendulum lies. Well, it depends. The pendulum lies. I know. Well, it depends. Have you made the connection with your guides? Have you asked your guides to come through the pendulum? Have you asked your guides to like connect with the pendulum, right? So the pendulum, you have to ask the questions correctly. You have to really be specific in the wording, or you may not get the right answer because the wording is going to go off in a different way. Because the pendulum is very precise. So it's in the wording, which sometimes can be kind of hard to grasp, the wording, right? So the pendulum, I would say I do like pendulums. I don't use them much. I collect them. I have them. I use them more when I'm clearing a house to find the energy of the, negative energy in the house. As I'm walking around, my pendulum moves. So I know where I have to focus without really me hooking into the energy. So I ask my guides to do that. That's kind of what I do. Psychometry is when you hold something, a pen or whatever, and you read the energy on the object. Now, keep in mind, when I'm telling you all of these things, tarot cards, astrology, psychometry, photosynthesis, clairsentient, all of these things, actually not that, and not photosynthesis, but the holding of an object, the looking at the backdrop of a tarot card, the using of the astrology, although it's kind of in its own field, these are doorways to open up. Dowsing is kind of like a pendulum. I mean, it's focusing the energy to get the information. You're opening up your own intuitive ability. If you don't feel comfortable with the word psychic, call yourself a tarot reader. Who cares, right? Like, call yourself whatever the hell you want. Call yourself. I love obsidian. Oh my God, I love it. I have so much obsidian. I'm going to open up an obsidian farm, but I can't give them up because they actually talk to me. They are my people. They are my friends, and I'm never giving them up. Yeah, some people the pendulum works great for. psychometry, that's why people that collect antiques and stuff have to really clear things, because it will come in. Each thing has a story. We all have a story. There's a story that comes through all of us. And the story that comes through all of us is what can be picked up on the energy of things. So you want to make sure that you clear, okay, wait, I see. How does Tulip react when you're channeling? Tulip is the sweetest little kitty monkey. She sleeps on the couch a lot because she's elderly now, but she scratched me this morning because I was playing like with her tummy, and she don't want nobody touching her tummy. Like, don't go down there. She's kind of like, don't, and out came her claw. Like this, she does that. Out comes the claw, but she doesn't really hurt me. She just likes to catch me with her claws out just to let me know who the boss is. When I'm channeling, Tulip's kind of interesting. She sees things in the house like all pets do, and she like follows them like that. She's kind of cute that way. She's super, super cute. She loves people when they used to come in the house. Her whole life where people were in the house, she was a good kitty. She would go over and literally sit on people's laps, and I knew that they were good souls. She'd come over, and then other people she had no interest in. Here was the funniest thing with Tulip, though. Keep in mind, she's a tortoise hair. Is it a tortoise? You know, with the little, the face, the different colored face. So I had some clients that had dogs. One of the dogs' names was Murphy. Not giving up who that client was, but there was a little French bulldog, and he used to come and visit. He came for his reading with his mommy. And Tulip would just look at him like, what? She was such a good cat. She let all of these dogs in the house. I mean, a lot of my clients would bring the dogs. Murphy, when Keithy was out of school, when Keithy was on holiday when he was little, Murphy knew how to run up my stairs and go find Keithy and jump in his bed like a wild animal. And Tulip would go find Murphy, look at Murphy, why Murphy was in the bed with Keithy, and then Murphy would run downstairs, find his mommy, and sit down and be perfectly fine. Sometimes the two of them would get into a kerfuffle, but not often. She was a pretty good kitty, actually, considering she had a bunch of dogs coming into her house. She kind of knew she was boss, but if you went near her Keithy, she's going to climb up those stairs. That's right. Oh my God. So this morning, I'm driving home, and I have this, I love tulips. They're my favorite flower. I love flowers and I love herbs, and tulip is my favorite. From Holland and tulips. I've just always loved them my whole life. I think Holland and tulips are the best thing in the world. So this morning I'm driving home, right? So I'm coming home. I have this thing. When a black cat crosses me, I know it's racist to the cats, but when they cross in front of me on the road, I have a thing where I have to uncross them. So I have to go find the cat and then make it cross back over the road. This is a long, arduous thing. Like sometimes I've had to go to the airport, been driving to the airport, seen a black cat, had to chase the damn thing down, try to catch it because I felt like so superstitious. So this morning, well, let me go back. Last week I walked under a ladder, and there I was. I had to get something on the shelf. I walked under a ladder, and I'm like, oh my God, are you walking under a ladder? I'm talking to myself. I was in Smart and Final, and I was getting some cleaning stuff. I'm like, holy shit, did you walk under a ladder? This week, this sneaky little black cat creeps out and goes in front of my car. I'm like, mother bleeper. Stop my car. Cat literally stops on the right side, turns around, looks at me like this, knows that I needed to come back and cross out, and runs the hell away down the alleyway. So now I have like I have to bring it back. I have to find that cat and make it cross over the other way to make things in balance again. Drives me crazy. It's like this weird superstition I have. But Tulip, yeah, Tulip is such a good kitty. Such a good little kid. She was so good. She let the dogs in. Sometimes I had big dogs visit. Sometimes there were like pit bulls in the backyard visiting. I mean, just, you know, all kinds of other creatures came to visit. Now, Lila Zuli's in the house. So Zuli, the Chihuahua, Zuli Patchouli, Zuli cute, comes to visit. I don't know if they're friends or not. I don't think so. I think they're just like tolerating each other, like neighbors at the same dinner party that have trees and fight over the trees. But she's trying to get along because she loves her Lila. Now, here's what I'll tell you about Tulip. If Lila comes and she sits down beside me, so we're sitting like this and me and Lila are talking, or our feet are up, or we're watching TV, Tulip literally will jump on the couch, and she will come and she will sit between Lila and I, and then she'll stretch out to push Lila over there. And she kind of pushes over. She needs space between Lila and I. And you can see her when the front doors opens and she sees little kids come in. She's like, not those people. So it's really funny. But when I'm not there, she's super friends with Lila. So it's like a mommy thing, I think, for Tulip. And they are animals. They do get jealous, right? Okay, so this is it. I'm all talked out tonight. All talked out, you guys. Okay, wait, that's what cats and dogs do best. I know, they're so cute. I love animals. Remember, your animals are your guides. They really are higher evolved. I know we clean up their poop and we feed them and they're at our mercy. But the only reason that they're at our mercy is to show us compassion and to watch how we treat things that we could abuse. So a lot of people do with their pets, and I don't like it. A lot of pets people are mean to, and especially little pets. Goldfish get flushed down the freaking toilet all the time. Now, what is that? I guess they think they're going back to the sea. That seems wrong to me. And we had turtles when my kids were little, and the turtles died, and I don't know where the hell they went, tell you the truth. And we lost a snake in the house, and I don't know where the snake went. Checkers. We went to Canada for Christmas, and Checkers was Jason's snake. And those kids next door, John and Andrew, maybe Mary and Ann, I don't know. The cute kids next door were watching, and then I don't know where Checkers went. I really don't. He was a garter snake, so he wasn't going to kill us, but what if he bred in the mattress or something? I can't think about that right now. We don't have those mattresses, but I thought about it at the time. I don't know where he went. We never recovered his body. Where the hell did he go? I don't know. Maybe they, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so tonight, like we did last night and the night before, to raise our energy, I want everybody to imagine locking their arms. So locking their arms together. And I want us to find 4 names on this chat, 4 names on our Instagram, 4 names of people we don't know. However you get the phone book out, go online, find the phone book. And I want you to include those people's names in your prayer. So we're doing 4 people each night in order to raise the vibration for people we don't know. Because often we pray for people we know, of course, because we know them. So what we want to do is pray for other people we don't know. So anybody on here that you take a liking to, a name, a feeling, somebody who said something on here that's maybe having a hard time, we want to focus our energy. Maybe 2 or 3 of us will pray for the same person and they will wake up feeling better. But we're going to include them with our normal prayers of our family members and all of that. People, kids, excuse me, people, kids, all of that. We want to include it so that we can really raise the vibration. And remember, they're saying not to go out tomorrow, but I think it's more because the energy of Saturn and Mars riding in tandem together, basically codependent on each other. It might be somewhat of an explosive day, but we're going to see karma and then action, karma action. So it's like Mars wants Saturn to move the hell out of the way so it can take action. So with that, I'm going to say, everybody, we are going to think upwards. Remember, this is our mantra. I say this as a collective group. This is our mantra. I am abundantly happy and healthy now. I am abundantly happy and healthy now. I am abundantly happy and healthy now. That's what we say in our heads. We don't have to speak it out loud. We can be at a, going through the house eating dinner, saying it. We could be doing the laundry, just saying it. Say it 3 times. Then we're going to pray for the people that we want to heal. You can say we pray for any and all that need help and healing, but you can also say, I pray for my mom, my dad, my babies, my husband, my wife, my 4 best friends, and 4 people we don't know. Kind of like a prayer circle, but it's not like they're putting their names in. We're going to keep them private and let God do the work that he needs with them. But we are going to include them by name ourselves. So we will say the 4 people's names in our prayers. And then we don't have to mention it again because it's already in our personal prayer group and we are all connected that way. So our energy will rise up. That's what's going to happen. That's the only thing that's going to beat this is we have to pray. And I mean that sincerely. And I mean that every day, because it's like, it's raising the energy of all of us if we're able to do that. And that's, I keep looking up like I'm going to go through the ceiling. I'm sorry. It's like those movies. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm not going to go through my ceiling. There were raccoons on the ceiling the other night, though. The little raccoons. I was scared shitless. Something was scratching on the roof. Woke up. Freaking little raccoons. They're trying to get in the roof. They want to have babies in the roof. Why do they want to do it? They're like, they scratch. I tried talking to it. It's not listening to me. I tried like screaming at it. Yeah, it knows when you're not really a threat, these raccoons do. They're smarter than people, raccoons, by the way. But they do have families, and they're almost, they eat like this with their hands. They're so cute. But they're not cute when they fuck your roof up, right? So we're going to raise our energy. We're not going to live in fear. Okay, because fear does no good. You can have fear about what happens when you're 70 years old or 80 years old, or what if this happens? Well, what if it doesn't? So we don't want to even put that in our heads. We are all fine. We are abundantly happy and healthy now. That's just what we are. This is where we go. And it's now. It's not later. It's not next Thursday. This is what we are. Okay. And for those that are sick, we pray for them too, that they get better, because there's a chance that most of them will get better, more than a chance, because it's the people that have compromised immune systems. So we pray for those people to get into the situations they need to help heal them, because just because you get sick doesn't mean you're going to die. That's what we do. We just kind of put it out there like that so that our angels and our guides work in that way to make things more positive. That's what we do. This is what I feel. So this is how I feel we can help people. So this is what I feel. So we are all abundantly happy and healthy now. And that's what we are. So I will see you guys soon, and practice your tarot cards. Remember what you think. Okay, first, card in the middle is the situation between you and the person. You are on the left. Your person is on the right, whoever you're asking about. So it could be a work boss, lover, kid, crazy neighbor, doesn't matter. First card is what you think. Second card is what you feel. Third card is what you show. Go across the bottom like a horseshoe. What they show, what they feel, and what they think. And then look at it, and you can keep piling the cards on in the same order until you understand, until it makes sense to you. And it may not make sense. Shuffle again and do it again. Keep doing it so you get used to doing it. All right, you guys. Peace out. Have a good night, everybody.